Today we're gonna have a chug battle between the new Ampero 2 Stomp and the Line 6 HX Stomp. What's up everybody, welcome to the channel. My name's Taylor. If you're new here, how's it going? So last week I posted a video on my first impressions with the Ampero 2 Stomp here, and I got an overwhelming amount of requests to compare this to the Line 6 HX Stomp because it seems like this is Ampero's attempt to kill off the Line 6 HX Stomp. So here we go, look. So there you go, you have them side by side so you can see the size difference if that is a factor for you. If you're new here and you haven't seen one of these, the way a chug battle works is I play through each one of these and give you sort of my subjective experience, the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it, the things I am experiencing in the moment. And then at the end of the video, we will shoot them both out using comparable models and effects in a mix using both stock IRs as well as third-party IRs, since the cabinets are such a huge part of the equations and they're so different on each one of these units. And the last major thing that I want to address in this video is the DSP limitations of each of these units, since that is a primary concern when you're looking at something in this budget, and they are both definitely limited by their DSP. Let's get started, huh? Let's pick an amplifier here. I did the 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗔 on my first impressions video, so if you're interested in that amp, go check out that video. I think for this one, I'm gonna go with the Soldano 100. Really like this amp model. Sounds pretty good right off the bat. Let's pick a different cabinet. I don't want this orange 2x12. And you know what? I'm gonna go with one of these Celestion IRs. I really liked these IRs. I thought they sounded pretty good. Let's go with the V30C. I mean, that IR sounds awesome for an included IR. Okay, so I have a noise reducer here. Let's go ahead and add, I wanna load this thing up and see when I start running out of DSP here. So we're gonna put a drive in and we're just gonna put an overdrive. We'll put in, let's try this 𝗏𝗛𝗄𝗃. Just with very minimal effort, the tone already sounds really, really awesome in this thing. Something that I really enjoy about the Ampero 2 Stomp is it doesn't take much effort to get a good tone out of it. Very cool tone with minimal effort. Now what I want to do here is I just want to start adding effects and stuff to see how quick we can max out this DSP. We already have a mod in here. Let's move the mod up here. We have a delay and a volume in here. I don't think the DSP is going to change by activating these since they are already loaded. Okay, so now that we have this selected on chain B, this is one continuous signal chain. You can process 2 guitar signals if you want, which is pretty cool. Okay, not the craziest guitar tone ever, but that's okay. Let's throw a reverb in here. The reverbs seem to be super DSP intensive, so let's see if we have any limitations. Okay, so already we can't use the combo spring, we can't use the tube spring, we can use the cloud though. That's the one I like. And I have a feeling, so we still have access to a lot of things here. Obviously we can't add another cab or another IR. We do like a graphic 7-band EQ or something. And then after that, we are pretty close to done. So we can add a tweed preamp if we want to. That is the only option we have to add to our signal here. after the EQ. I don't want that though. So that's about what maximum DSP looks like on this unit. Let's do it this way too. I want to see, one of the cool things about both of these units is they have left and right input, meaning you can run 2 guitars through 1 unit, but you will be limited by the processing power. So I want to see if we can even set up a rig for each one. So let's change this to a dynamic noise gate. Change that to a drive. And it doesn't really matter, we'll go with green drive, that's fine. We're gonna delete that and change this to an amp. And we're already starting to come across some limitations here. Just go with an 𝗦𝗡𝗷𝗍𝗔𝗡. So you wanna pan the outputs right and left. They don't have independent outputs on this, but you can pan them. So if we go completely left and right here, then these are completely independent signal chains. Okay, let's see if we can swap out this volume for a cab. And nope. No dice. We can't use a cab or IR. So if you're using this to process 2 guitars or you need cabinets and impulse responses on it, you're out of luck unless you probably take one of these drives out. Yeah, if you take one of the drives out, you can add a cabinet. So this is what the DSP limitation looks like if you're running 2 rigs at once. But let's see how that compares to our friend over here, the HX Stomp. All right, so we have the HX Stomp loaded up here. Let's create something similar and see what the DSP limitation is on the HX Stomp and how that compares to the Ampero Stomp. Okay, let's see if we can just get 2 separate rigs set up here. And we're gonna make both of these the same. I just want these to be very simple, nothing crazy. Put tube screamers in front of. The cool thing about the HX Stomp and other Line 6 products is you have the amp and the cab that can exist in one block, so it won't take up extra space. I don't know if that actually helps your DSP usage or not, but we'll use it. And we're gonna go with the same thing we went with on the other one. Solo, lead, overdrive. And we're just gonna see how fast we start running out of DSP here. Okay, so already we can't add an amp and a cab block to the second chain here. So we'll just add an amp. Oh wow, and we don't have, all we have is the tweed. I guess the tweed is a very low DSP usage amp because it doesn't seem to use any DSP on either unit. Let's go back and see if we can do an amp and a cab now. Something other than a small tweed. Nope. We can have a Line 6 badonk amp. So this is what maximum DSP usage looks like on the HX Stomp. And the way you have to set up 2 signal chains on the HX Stomp is a little bit more convoluted. But regardless, I think this is showing off one of the limitations with the DSP and the HX Stomp, since I can't even run an overdrive and a guitar amp and a cabinet in parallel for processing 2 guitar signals. That's kind of a bummer. Let's just build a normal chain here and see how fast we run out of DSP that way. Kind of like in reverse from what I just did. So we'll go in here, we'll select our amp. We're gonna stick with that Soldano. Oh look, we have a Soldano cabinet we can use. We're gonna change this into a distortion. We'll do a tube screamer on that one. Okay, so that's the sound we're getting so far with this one, and you know, the sound is sort of subjective. Maybe you like one over the other one, but what's not subjective is gonna be the DSP limitation, so let's keep adding stuff in here until we run out of DSP. We already have a spring reverb and a weeper in here. Let's swap this out for something cooler. Ooh, I like the particle reverb. Let's swap this out for, not a wah, delay, hot spring delay. I'll add a pitch shifter in here. All the kids like pitch shifters, but we are already starting to hit DSP limitations here. Look, all we can add is an IR, a preamp, a wah, a delay, a modulation. Let's see what kind of pitches we can do. Okay, simple pitch, pitch whammy. I guess we'll do simple pitch here. You know, I gotta say though, the pitch shifter in this sounds excellent. And if you saw my first video with the Ampero 2 Stomp, I was really not impressed with the pitch shifting in that. So if that's important to you, that might be a factor as well. But this is kind of what it looks like to run out of DSP on the HX Stomp. I mean, look, we only have 1 block left anyways. Let's see if we can add anything to it. We can add some modulation or an EQ, but man, we are really limited in what we can add to it. I guess we could add a tremolo. One nice thing is we can use the gate on the input block to free up one of the blocks in the chain without having to put a noise gate in there, which always comes in handy. I guess we have a volume pedal in here we're not using. Let's see if we could swap that out for something else. No, not really. I mean, all we have left we can add is a volume or pan option here. So for all intents and purposes, this is maxed out DSP on the HX Stomp. We have a simple pitch, we have a tube screamer, we have the Soldano lead overdrive, we have the Soldano 4x12 cabinet, not the IR loader, the cabinet, by the way. We have a particle reverb, we have a hot springs reverb, and we have a tremolo. Wait, why do we have 2 reverbs? I didn't want this reverb. We have a particle reverb, we have a glitch delay, and we have a tremolo here. So really, there's a lot of stuff. I actually just remembered I hate the glitch reverb. Let's go with the Cosmos Echo. So I would say in terms of its routing options and managing its DSP in stereo, I would say the HX Stomp doesn't do quite as good of a job as the Ampero Stomp 2, but when using a single signal chain, they're pretty comparable. Maybe a slight edge towards the Ampero. If pitch shifting is important to you, I think that the pitch shifter in the HX Stomp sounds much, much better than what I heard in the Ampero 2. And I feel like this is an important point to make. The Ampero 2 Stomp is a very new product. There's most likely gonna be firmware updates where hopefully they will optimize the effects to not limit the DSP as much on it, and I feel like the HX Stomp is towards the end of its life in terms of updates. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like with the newer updates with the HX Stomp, they are really pushing the hardware to the edge of what it can do and really testing out that DSP usage. I'm sure you guys still want to see what they sound like head to head in a mix, so let's do that now. Alright guys, what do you prefer? Do you think that the HX Stomp still holds its value, or do you think the Ampero 2 is the HX Stomp killer? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, appease the YouTube gods by hitting that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.